I think it's about time I had an honest discussion about the current state of buying concert tickets in the US, particularly highlighting Lady Gaga's second leg of her Mayhem Ball tour, which has left fans bewildered, upset, confused. I think it's a conversation worth having, so let's talk about it. I've been a casual Lady Gaga fan for many years. I've enjoyed a few of her singles and a couple of her albums, and I really admire her artistry. So she's always been one of those artists that's been on my bucket list to go see. So I was excited to see that she added some Texas dates on this second leg of the Mayhem Ball tour, but I held my breath because I just didn't anticipate that I was going to be able to afford these tickets. My target show was the Austin Night 1 at the Moody Center on March the 8th. I did sign up for the artist presale that went live yesterday, and we didn't need a code or anything. You could just literally open your app if you had a Ticketmaster account and just get into the lobby. When 12 noon hit, I was in a queue with 10,631 people in front of me, which is the most I've ever had in front of me on a concert buying experience. And it took me about 20 to 25 minutes to finally make it over to the actual sale page where I get to pick my tickets. The page loaded, and I was shocked to see that there was only one ticket available for me, and it was about $114.90 in the nosebleeds, like upper level bowl. And I just couldn't believe it. I refreshed, I did the list view, I went back to the map. I was like, there's just no way, there's one ticket left. I wasn't going to get it. I guess compared to other prices that I had seen throughout the week via the Citi Card presale and Verizon presale, it might have been a good deal, but me personally, I can't see myself in the nosebleeds for any concert or any event, but that's just me. I got out of that screen and then went back into the queue to see what else was happening. Once I made it back into the sale page, some other sections lit up and then they immediately grayed out. And the leftovers were, again, a nosebleed seat, but for $626 and $60, or a lower bowl seat that was towards the back of the venue, not anywhere near the stage, for $892.10. All three of these tickets, the $100 one, $600, and $8, had no VIP. And it was just shocking to say the least. And pretty much at that point, I accepted that this tour isn't going to happen for me. And I had been following along on the Lady Gaga subreddit, reading people's experiences and, people are giving each other advice and just comparing prices. And it's been a mess in there, to be honest. There's a lot of people that are upset, people pointing fingers, people upset that they couldn't, get tickets. And there was one story in particular that kind of shocked me. I believe this might have been from the last leg of the tour for the Madison Square Garden shows. Some fans found out that they can go to the box office and get really face value prices for their tickets. A $450 ticket at the box office was selling for upwards of $1,000 online. So, of course, everybody ran to the box office. But the venue shut it down. I don't know who got wind of it or what happened, but their excuse was that production said that there were going to be no more box office sales. Everything else would be online, subject to the price gouging that always happens when you're buying concert tickets online. And I just thought that was really sad. If you're a big Lady Gaga fan and you've been wanting to go and all of a sudden you just can't afford to go, it's shocking. And the fact that production, I'm assuming Lady Gaga's team got wind of it and they're saying, no, we're not going to do this. You're going to have to pay these horrible prices. It's just it's like a letdown. With all the discourse that's happening in Reddit, everybody, like I said, is pointing fingers. It's dynamic pricing. It's Gaga's greed. It's this, that, and the other. It just begs the question, how did it get to this point? And I'm not an expert, but I feel like there's multiple things at play here spanning back several years. And I think the first part of the problem is the introduction of streaming services. Back in the day, artists would depend on album sales, a lot of merch sales, enter the streaming platforms that pay their artists next to nothing for their music. That's a chunk of their money that they're missing, which every artist has a right to be making their money. So mix that in with, maybe there's contracts that the venues are going to take a percentage of their sales. So now they got to make up for that. And then there's production costs, paying out your crew. And there's just all this intertwining red tape, possibly, that could affect this whole experience. And I think another major player to this is the resale sites, SeatGeek, StubHub, Vivid, like all of these resale sites that were supposed to help people sell their tickets. And what's happening is that these sites are buying up all the seats to resell them on their site. And I think that is inducing dynamic pricing in the main market because they're seeing like, oh, our show is selling out. Let's like dynamic price these and like get them higher. But no, these tickets aren't actually being bought by fans. They're being bought by these companies and bots. So nobody's winning here. Well, the people that are making the money off these people are. And it's just crazy that it's gotten this far with very little regulation. Now, this dynamic pricing has not only affected the US, I know Europe has started to feel a little bit of it, but Europe has more sanctions in place to protect their consumers. Australia, especially, I was reading, has a lot of resale caps. They can't go past a certain point if they're reselling tickets. There's a lot more transparency, and I think they're working on banning dynamic pricing entirely, which is amazing. The US, by comparison, is all they've really done is the bare minimum, in my opinion, from what I was reading. They've said that you need to, telling the ticket companies, you need to be transparent with these fees that you're charging your customers. And that's it. There's no scrutiny involved with the bots and the reselling. They just like, you just need to disclose what you're doing. And people are still buying the tickets, myself included. I just want to say that I am not immune to all of this. I buy concert tickets via Ticketmaster, Live Nation, and Access. So I am part of the problem when it comes to giving in to these corporations for the sake of a concert. Another thing that has gotten people kind of upset is the lack of artist response or acknowledgement that this is happening to their own fans. Back in 2023, Robert Smith from The Cure, he actually got Ticketmaster to back down and partially refund people that were charged exorbitant, unnecessary fees on their tickets. And they came to an agreement that for the rest of that tour, Ticketmaster was not to add any other additional fees on these tickets. And he also had called out saying that artists do have a say in the dynamic pricing, whether it's solely themselves or there's a team, they are involved in some way or form. More recently, Ariana Grande also had a tour go on sale, maybe like a week before Lady Gaga released her tickets. And they are also experiencing the reseller market, which she just came out on her Instagram story and acknowledged that her and her team have heard the fans, they see what's going on, and they're trying to come up with a solution. And if she really means what she says, that's great. And I think we do need more of that. I would love to see, more artists step out and say, hey, I see you. I know this isn't right. But again, I feel like there's a lot of red tape of what management says, oh, you can't say that. Oh, you're going to be picking these pockets over here, when there's been blatant theft with their fans, their consumers, regarding these ticket prices. I don't know, guys. Is there a solution to all of this? I mean, something's got to give, because a $600 nosebleed ticket is just not it. It should just not exist. Let me know your thoughts down below. Were you considering going to this tour? Do you have your tickets? Do you feel it's worth the money? Who's at fault here? Is it just artist greed? Is it Live Nation? Does the government need to step in and take care of this? Let me know your thoughts, anything and everything down below, and I will see you all next time. Bye!